Today I'm going to be showing you what my top repurchase luxury makeup items are, because not only do these products absolutely slay, but they're completely worth the money because I've repurchased them multiple times. Together we're going to do a little makeup deep dive, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how I use these products. So without further ado, let me show you what my top repurchase makeup products are. One of my favorite and most repurchased moisturizers to wear underneath my foundation is the Sunday Riley C.E.O. Afterglow Brightening Vitamin C Moisturizer. Honestly, I cannot tell you how many times I've repurchased this moisturizer. I always have to have one on hand at all times. It's so good, it's so moisturizing, and if you're looking for all day hydration, this moisturizer is it. Plus it has vitamin C in the formula, so the more you use it, your skin's actually gonna brighten up. And this stuff is so good for brightening up your skin. Seriously, the amount of times people have told me that this works wonders on their skin is honestly insane. This moisturizer does have a strong scent to it, but it's more on the clean, fresh side, so to me, it doesn't bother me at all. But it did take me a while to get used to it, because at first I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about this, but the more I used it and the more I liked how it felt on my skin, it did not matter. I just love the way that this moisturizer makes my skin feel. It's so good. It makes my skin feel so soft and smooth and just ready for foundation. It's honestly outstanding, and I will forever repurchase this. I wear it all the time underneath my foundation, and it's so good for that. And this is probably one of my most repurchased items. So the next step in my makeup routine is primer. And surprisingly enough, the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer is one of my most repurchased primers of all time. I love this primer because it's a pore smoothing primer, so it's gonna fill in my pores and just make my skin look so smooth and ready for foundation. This is a primer that's not really gonna help with the long wear of my foundation, but it's gonna make it look real good, especially in person. So how I like to apply it is I pick a little bit up on my fingers, and then I apply it mostly where I have pores because I just wanna fill them in with this. So I'll concentrate it on my cheek area and then a little on my chin. And if you get oily anywhere, you wanna put this there too. So I'll put it on my T-zone and a little bit on my nose. With this primer, a little bit goes a really long way. So you're gonna have this primer for a really long time. I mean, I've had this jar for so long, honestly. And when I rub it into my skin feels so smooth. And then to finish it off, I'm gonna help to press it into my skin. And this is just gonna make sure that it really soaks in my skin and does its job. And now when I look in the mirror, my skin just looks so smooth and my pores are basically non-existent thanks to this. And this is a primer that I truly notice a difference in my skin, especially at the end of the day when I use this. When I go to take my makeup off after using this, I'm like, how does my skin still look this good? But it's because this just fills in every pore and every crack and every crease and everything, and it just looks so good. And I always recommend when I use this primer to wait about 1 minute before applying your foundation on top of this. You want it to really soak into your skin and dry down, so that way when you put your foundation on top, it's not going to break up and get all those pilly beads everywhere. Because if you apply your foundation too soon on top of this, it's definitely going to give you those pilling beads. You gotta let it dry down first. So since I have to go and let it dry down, I'm going to go ahead and do my eye makeup off camera because I don't have an eyeshadow palette that I've repurchased a million times yet. All my eyeshadow palettes are really hanging in there and they're doing good. So I'm just gonna do my eye makeup off camera and then I'll be right back. The eyeshadow is all complete for now. So now it's time to move on to the foundation. So this is the Hourglass Airbrush Vanish foundation stick, and I have the shade Warm Ivory. This is my most repurchased foundation because it's so good and I cannot believe it. It's in a stick formula. You wouldn't think, but it's so good. The way that this looks on the skin is honestly insane. I really can't explain how good it looks. You're gonna have to try it out for yourself to see the real magic because honestly, it's incredible. So since this is a foundation stick, I just apply it to my face by drawing it all over my face. And one of the coolest things about this foundation stick is that it has a customizable coverage. You really get to control how much foundation you get to wear. The amount you draw onto your face is gonna be how much coverage you get. So if you want light coverage, just draw a little bit. If you want full coverage, go crazy like me right now. I like full coverage, so I'm gonna draw a lot onto my face. I really love this because this is more of a medium buildable coverage foundation. And plus it's really hydrating, so it gives your skin a really nice natural glow. I always blend out all my foundations with a brush first, and then with my beauty sponge, I just help to press the foundation into my skin and it makes it look so much more smooth. I truly cannot get over how amazing this foundation makes my skin look. When I go to take off my makeup at the end of the day, I am not kidding. It looks the exact same. It looks so good, so flawless, and so smooth every single time. This foundation has never let me down. It's honestly one of my top favorite foundations of all time, which is why I had to repurchase it multiple times. And when this foundation runs out again, I will definitely be repurchasing a new one. I truly love this from the bottom of my heart. This foundation slays so hard. It's so iconic. And if you ever get to try it out, I know you're gonna love it as much as I do. If you're curious about any of the products that I'm going to be talking about in today's video, I'm gonna link them all down in the description box for you just in case you wanna go ahead and check any of them out. out. So now let's move on to my most repurchased concealer. And honestly, this one kind of shocks me, but at the same time it doesn't because I did it to myself. So my most repurchased Luxe concealer is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. And you might be wondering, out of all concealers, why is this my most repurchased? It's honestly an amazing concealer, truly. It's full coverage and it has a natural matte finish, so it's gonna last you all day long. The formula of this is a bit thick, so if you like thicker concealers, you're gonna love this. But to me, this is a multi-use product. You can use it for literally so many different things. So the way that I apply this is just with a brush, and you can really control how much concealer you put underneath your eyes, which is really nice. It has a very creamy formula and it blends out just like a dream. So I like to just layer this all over my face first before blending it out, and honestly it's just a really good multi-purpose concealer. And you can see that I almost used it all. My jar is looking pretty sad and empty, honestly, and I need to repurchase a new one. So you can tell that I use this literally all the time, and I'm not lying here. And not only do I use this concealer as a concealer, but I also use it as an eyeshadow primer. And I even used it as an eyeshadow primer today too. I use it to cut my crease, I use it for a base, I use it for a primer, I use it for literally everything on my eyes. And plus, you can see it brightens up the under eye as a concealer and it covers all the dark circles you could ever imagine. It's so full coverage, so for that, I love it. And I'm telling you, this concealer is just so good for anything that you could think of. If you want to spot conceal some pimples on your face, this is perfect because it's a little bit more thick, so it's gonna hide any acne marks perfectly. And if you want it to have even more coverage, let it dry down for about 30 seconds before blending it out. So now the concealer is all nice and blended out, and this is a little foundation and concealer hack that I'm gonna share with you that is so good. I'm gonna take some hydrating setting spray, and I'm just gonna drench my face with this. All over my face, I'm gonna spray it. And with my beauty sponge, I'm just gonna press the concealer and foundation into my skin, and the moisture from the setting spray is really gonna help to make it look a lot more natural and hydrated. And since the NARS concealer is a little bit more of a soft matte finish, this is really gonna help make it look so good, so hydrated, and just flawless underneath the eyes. And I cannot skip pressing my concealer into my skin. This is a must-have step in my makeup routine. With any concealer, it doesn't matter. This concealer is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me, and I will be repurchasing this sometime very soon in the future for the third time, because that's how much I love this, and I highly recommend. Now for a cream bronzer, I haven't really run out of a cream bronzer stick before, so I'm gonna include one that when I run out, I will be repurchasing it immediately. This is the LYS Beauty No Limits Contour and Bronzer Stick, and I have the shade Harmony. Now someone seriously needs to tell me to shut up about this bronzer stick because I cannot stop talking about it. I use it in almost every single video that I've posted. I've seriously fallen in love with this bronzer stick, and I've not found one that's better than this. This to me is unmatched. It's at the top of its game. You cannot make a better bronzer stick than this. The formula is just so hydrating, so creamy, it blends out instantly, and it's just wonderful. I'm truly obsessed. I cannot tell you enough. So even though it's a stick, I don't like to draw it directly onto my face because that way I'm applying way too much product. So with my brush, I just pick up a little off the stick, and then I will start directly applying it to the cheek. And as you can see, it literally blends out instantly. It's insane. That's why I truly love this stick so much, because you do not have to work very hard to make it look good. Isn't that what we all want in makeup too? And when I'm in a rush and I'm doing my makeup, I know that I can just quickly dab this on my cheeks and it's gonna blend out in literally 5 seconds. And it's so pigmented, and I just love this shade too because it's not too warm and it's not too cool. It's just the perfect bronzer shade, and I think that's why I also love it so much besides the formula. When something is a good shade, I become instantly obsessed, and this bronzer is truly gonna last me all day. This is seriously my go-to bronzer stick, and I don't think anything will ever top this for me. I sound so dramatic, but it's just the truth. It's how I feel about these products. They're just so good. And just like my foundation and concealer, I'm gonna take my beauty sponge and I'm gonna press the bronzer into my skin. And as you can tell, I truly love this bronzer stick. It's so good. The formula is outstanding. I'm obsessed, and I will be repurchasing this until I can't anymore. Now let's move on to some blush. For me, it's very similar to the cream bronzer. I haven't really hit pan and finished a whole blush yet, but there is a blush that I've repurchased multiple times in different shades because I love it so much. And this is the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush Duo, and I have the shade Just Enough. And I also have the shade She's the Doll, and I also have the shade She's the Moment, and I want other shades as well. Now this is the blush shade that I'm going to be using today, and it's a really nice cool toned baby pink, and ever since I got the shade, I've non-stop been wearing it. So I'm going to start off by applying the cream first, and I'm just going to take my brush, dip it into the cream, and then I'm going to start applying it directly to my cheek. I'm going to start at the apples of my cheek, and I'm going to move it up towards my temple, doing some stamping motions. Oh my goodness, this color is just everything to me. I love it so much. I love the formulas of this blush, both the cream and the powder. It's so good. They blend out just like a dream. And that's why I've repurchased it so many times, because I love both the cream and the powder formula. And honestly, you're getting a good deal, getting two amazing different formulas for one. We love to see that. Patrick Ta ate with this blush formula. I can't tell you enough. Like, he ate and devoured and really had a 5-course meal right here when he made this. He ate. And I'm seriously obsessed. Once I run out of these blush shades, I will be repurchasing every single one that I have. And I will be repurchasing even more shades in the future because that is how good these blushes are. Oh, and since it's a cream, I cannot forget to press it into my skin with my beauty sponge. This is a product that's been talked about all over the internet, and honestly, it's really worth the hype. It really deserves all the hype that it's getting. Oh, and also, I just want you to know that I've never been paid anything to talk about any of these products that I mentioned in any of my videos. Literally, I do this for fun. Everything that I'm saying is coming deep from my soul. I do this because I love makeup so much, and I do it for free and I do it for fun. So now I'm gonna set my face with one of my favorite powders of all times. I repurchased this literally a million times. Maybe not a million, but close. This is the Hourglass Veiled Translucent Setting Powder, and let me tell you, I'm simply obsessed with this powder. I can go on a whole tangent just like everything else in this video, but I will save that because I would bore you to death about this powder. But just know, I love it so much. So the reason why I love this powder so much is because it's so thin and it's so lightweight. When you apply it to your skin, you barely feel like you have any powder on, which is so unique because a lot of powders feel dry and heavy and, you know, powdery on your skin, but not this one at all. It smooths out my skin like no other. I honestly haven't used this powder in a while and I forgot how good it looks. But oh my gosh, this is a product that I will go back to and reuse after a while and be like, why did I ever stop using this? It's literally so thin and lightweight. I do not feel like I have anything on my skin right now. It's crazy. And the best part about this powder, hands down the best part, is that not only does this feel so good on the skin and makes my skin look even better, the formula of this powder has a slight glow from within to it. And if you know Hourglass, they add that in almost every single powder that they have. So when I apply this to my skin, it's not making my foundation look super matte and crusty. As a dry skin queen, that is everything that I look for in a powder. And I'm talking the most subtle glow from within. It's not going to be like you've got glitter or highlighter on your face at all. It's more of that when the light hits it, that's when you notice. But otherwise, you will not notice that it has a glow from within, only when the light hits it. I'm just simply obsessed with this powder, and I'm so picky when it comes to powders, so the fact that I love a powder this much is insane. Now, this is a product that I have not repurchased yet, but I know that I'm going to once I run out of it, and I'm just mentioning it for fun, okay? This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel. Now, this is a very strong hold brow gel, and I love it because it really helps keep my brows in place all day long. It has a double-sided wand, so one side has long bristles and the other side has short bristles. And typically, I like to use the long bristle side to just lift my brows and keep them into place. And the formula in this is really good because it does not add white flakes into your brows ever. Literally, I've never had one white flake in my eyebrows from this. It dries down completely matte, not shiny at all. And once it dries down, your brows do harden just a little bit, but baby, they are not going anywhere. So if you've ever been curious about this gel, I definitely recommend, and I think that you should try it out because I'm going to be repurchasing this when I have to. She's truly a good one. Anastasia snapped with this. So now I'm just going to set my blush into place with the powder blush from the same Patrick Ta blush duo. Now these blushes are so pigmented, it's insane, especially the powder. So I'm just gonna add a little bit to my cheek and I'm gonna try to build it up just to the pigment that I like. I just love this shade of blush so much because it adds a nice baby pink pop to the cheeks and it's so good. And honestly, it's perfect for spring, so I love that. And the formula of the powder blush is so good, it blends out instantly. It's very buildable and it's very pigmented. So with this blush, you will be able to create the blush look of your dreams. And I love it. I love this blush so much. If I could just become this blush and be this blush, I would. This blush is iconic. If anything is iconic in this video, it's honestly this blush. And if you ever get to try them out, I know you're gonna understand. The hype on these are so real, I'm just saying. So now it's time for my lip combo using my most repurchased luxury lip items. So first up for the lip liner, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Deep Taupe. Now let me tell you something about these lip liners. I'm completely obsessed and I've bought so many of these because that's how much I love them. The formula is so good, the way they stay on, and the colors, ooh, I just love everything about them. Every time I'm using a lip liner, honestly, it's probably gonna be an Anastasia lip liner. The formula is just simply unmatched. It just glides so easily onto your lips. They're so creamy and so pigmented. And honestly, they stay on for a really long time too. Definitely recommend the Anastasia lip liners. They're kind of slept on, but they're so good. Now for the lipstick, I'm gonna go in with the MAC lipstick in the shade Love You Back. In my opinion, MAC has the best bullet lipstick formula in the entire world. That was my dog. She's loud when she does her little shit. shaky thing. The way that I can wear these lipsticks on my lips without it coming off for hours is seriously insane. Honestly, it's going to come off because it's not completely transfer proof at all. But when I put them on my lips, they really last a long time. And I've repurchased these lipsticks a million times. I have a million different shades, from matte to velvet to cream. I've got them all, honestly. They're just so good, and I will forever be repurchasing these MAC lipsticks, no matter what. To the day that I die, I will have a MAC lipstick in my purse. I've been wearing these MAC lipsticks for years, and I do not see an end in sight, so I will definitely be repurchasing this until I simply cannot repurchase them any longer. And finally, one of my most repurchased lip glosses is a Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. I love these glosses so much. The formula of this is not sticky at all, whatsoever, not sticky. The consistency on this is more like a medium consistency, so it's not too thick and it's not too thin. But man, do these feel good on your lips, while also looking absolutely stunning. Hello. If I have to say anything, I will say that Fenty Beauty slayed the gloss department. All of the glosses are completely outstanding. I love the formula. I've repurchased them multiple times. I've got Hot Chocolate, I've got Fussy, I got the Lemon Lava. They're honestly such good lip glosses that I have to collect every single shade that Fenty has. I don't know one person who doesn't love this gloss, because that's how good she is. And that's it. Here's my final makeup look using my top repurchased makeup items that I've repurchased a million times. These products are honestly all so good, and they're super iconic because they know how to do their job and they know how to look amazing on the skin. So if you're looking for some new makeup products to try out, I definitely recommend everything that I mentioned in today's video, because as you can see, these products really slayed this look. And I'm here for it, because what's better than good makeup products that actually look good on your skin? When you look and feel good in your makeup, honestly, that's all that matters. So let me know down in the comments if you've tried out any of these makeup products and which one your favorite is, because I would love to hear from you. And of course, as always, I've linked all the products that I mentioned in today's video down in the description box, just in case you want to go ahead and check any of them out. I will be back next week with a brand new video, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss when I upload my next video. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun being here and hanging out with you today. There's honestly nothing more fun than hanging out with you and talking about makeup. That just fills my heart with joy, honestly. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. I will see you on the next one. Oh, and P.S. don't forget to subscribe so that we can become besties. Love that for us.